Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are just seeing this channel for the first time, you are welcome to Queen Bee Unique Creation, where I share tutorials on turban, autogele and fascinator. So today I'll be learning how to make this multi-pleated turban cap. If this is something you are interested in, kindly keep on watching. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and share more people that you thought might need it. Let's get started. So for our pleated turban cap, this is a raw silk fabric. So I cut the head circumference on the stretchy part of the fabric. I want this to have a backdrop. The average adult head size is 23, but because this fabric stretches a lot, so I usually use 22, 21 and a half. So I want this to have a backdrop, so I'm using 26 inches from the head circumference. So I just cut it, the width, I just cut it through the length of the 1 yard. That is, the length of a yard of fabric is always 50 and 60 inches. Some might not be up to 60. Let me measure this. So this one now, I have 59 inches. I just cut through the length, so through the width of the fabric. So the length is 26, which is the head circumference, while the width is 59, which is the length of the fabric. So now, to make this style properly, very, very raw, you need to rule. You need to take your time and rule, which I have done here. As you can see, I have done it here. So now I'm going to explain these lines that I rule. So this one, the first line here, that is here, mentioned 3.5 inches, which is the one that I'm going to fold, that is going to act as the band of this turban. All this line you are seeing is on the right side. Yes, if you want to get this type perfectly, you have to take your time and rule all this. So that one, the first one, which I said is 3.5 inches, is the one that I'm going to fold into two and sew on it, which will act as the band of this turban. So after this one, then I measure 1 inches. That is the space. And after that 1 inches, I measure 2 inches. 2 inches. So now I want to pick these 2 inches that I measure is the place we are creating. I will make sure the first line and the second line, they are touching each other like this. If you're a beginner, you can pin it down. You can use your pin to pin it down. You pin it down, then you sew on the line. You make sure you are sewing on the line. That's why I said this line is on the right side, so you'll be able to see everything you're doing. So you match the two lines together and you're going to sew it. This acts as one pleat. Then after the one pleat, I have another 1 inch, which is the space between the pleats. Then after that 1 inch, I have 2 inches again, which is another pleat. You understand? So depending on how wide you want your pleat to be, the space between each pleat that I created is 1 inch. So you continue like that till you get to the end of the fabric or the amount of pleats you want to create. This is where I stop. So when I count my pleats now, I'm having about 14 pleats because, like I said, I have the 2 inches. These 2 inches are the pleats. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 pleats. So now let's go to the sewing machine so that you will understand what I mean by all this line and how to create the pleats. So now, like I said earlier, let's start sewing. So we start from this upper part, which I said is the 3 inches. But this marking place, I told you guys, is the front. So this one that is not marked is the back. So we are going to fold this one. I'll first fold this mouth inward and I'll fold it again. So I'll be using the line that I drew at the front part. I'll be using it as reference. I'll make sure that the sewing is on the line so that it will not disrupt everything that I've done. So when you want to do it, you have to take your pin and pin it down. I'll make sure I'm sewing on the 3 inches line that I drew on the front, which is this place. So I'm going to pin it down straight, then I'll sew it, which will act as the band for our turban cap. So let me do that. Make sure you are aligning it. The sewing is on the line that you drew at the front part. Where the line is the front part, or is the right part. So make sure you understand, because that is the guideline that we'll be using to sew it. So I'll do all the pinning. Like I said, you can see is on the line. So I'll do all the pinning, then I'll sew it on a straight line, then I'll show you. We continue from there. So here is it. You can see I have sewed it. I purposely use a brighter shade of blue because this material is blue black, so that you guys will be able to see what I'm doing. So I have sewed it now. So this acts as the band. So now this is the space between the band, which is the one, and this is our first pleat. So now you take the two, this line and this second line, you match the two together like this. Make sure the two lines are matching. Then you pin it down. If you cannot sew it directly, we are going to pin it down. So that pinning will help you to sew on a straight line. You understand? So you pin it down. You make sure you are pinning on the line. The two line, you can see this side, see this side. You can see that the pinning is on the line. So you pin it down, then you sew on it on a straight line. You sew it on a straight line. This is our first pleat now. This is the first pleat. So let me do all the pinning. I will do like 2 pleats on camera, and I will do the remaining one off camera, so that the video will not be extremely long. You understand? And I want you guys to get it and understand it. This is just a simple step. If you can take your time and create those lines, as in you rule it out, then you follow this step, it will be easier for you to make this. So now I've pinned it down. So I'm going to sew it now on a straight line. So I've sewed it down. Here is it. So this acts as our first pleat. You can see. So now this is the space between, which is the 1 inch. Then this is our next pleat, which is 2 inches that I mentioned. So the same way, I will match the 2 lines. This first line and the second line, and I will pin it down, and I will sew it down on a straight line. So that is basically what I will do till the end. I'll just be matching the lines together. Make sure both lines are on this. I'm matching it and I'll pin it down. That pinning is what will help you to sew on a straight line. Wall Street fabric stretches a lot, and a fabric that stretches won't stay one place. So you pinning it down, it will make your work easier and neater. It will make it to stay in one place, and it will make it to be very sturdy. It will stay in one place, and you see, this is the first, see the line, see the second line. You can see that the pin is on the line. This is just the interval, that is the space between first plate and second plate. By the time I sew it now, it will be like this. By the time I finish sewing it, so this will act as the second plate. Same, this is the space there. By the time I sew the third one too, the same thing, it will act as the third plate, the space, fourth plate. So that's how we are going to sew it till we finish. But for the beginners in the house, I always make my tutorial to be beginner friendly. And if you have watched to this point and you've not clicked the like button, what are you waiting for? Even if you have not subscribed, please click the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, because this is the best YouTube channel you can find. That tutorial is very, very detailed and beginner friendly, and you don't want to miss out on this channel. So just click the like button, give me a thumbs up, click the subscribe button and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and turn on the notification bell so that anytime I post a video, you'll be notified and you'll be the first to watch it. So don't miss out on amazing data that I have in stock for you guys. So now, this is one of the simplest way you can do it that way, to make it simpler for you to sew. So you are going to use your pin. So as you can see now, I pin everything down. All the 2 inches, I've pinned it down. This middle part, which is the 1 inches interval, the space. So you can see, I've pinned everything down. I pin it. Let me count it. 1, 2. Okay, minus the 2 I've sewn for it, but now count everything together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have 13 pleats now. I still have like 1 more left, but I want to sew this one first, because by the time I finish sewing it, I will have to measure it. The length I use for my turban is 14 inches. If it's up to 14, or it's not up to 14, or if it's 13 or 12 inches you want it to be, you leave it at that. But I always like my turban to be 14 inches in case my customer makes it, to be able to accommodate their head. So now I will sew this one now. As I'll be sewing it, I'll be removing the pin. So this will make it easier and faster for me to sew. You can see I make sure everything is pinned on the line, on the straight line, so which will make the work come out perfect. So now let me sew all this, then we'll continue from there. So here is the finished look. You can see I have sewn everything that I pinned down, which make it to be very, very easy to sew. As in, it was very easy. So let me mention what I have here. It is up to 14 inches. Yeah, this is 14 and a half. It's okay for me. So for it to lay down flat like this, I'll go and iron it. This is raw silk, and raw silk tend to puff. So I will go and iron it, place my iron on it to make it so like to be able to lie down and sleep. Then after ironing, see the back, see the inside, very neat. So we now turn it like this and turn it to our turban cap. But before turning to our turban cap, you measure the person's head circumference. You measure the person's head circumference. You make sure the 2 marks are equal. Measure the person's head circumference. I think I'll be using 11 inches. This is 22 because this fabric stretches. So I'll be using 11 inches for this, which is 22. So I will measure the length from here to here. I'm having 14. So I will trim it like this. I will trim it to give it that turban shape look at the back. So I'm going to give it a trim. I'll trim it this way. Cut out the excess. So now what I will do is, this is 11 inches. I will sew down like this from here, come down like this, then I will sew all through here, cuff it this way, then I will gather it. Just the normal way we create our turban. But before I do all that, let me first go and iron it. Then after ironing it, I will measure the head circumference, cuff it like this and like this. So start sewing from here to here, sew it down like this, then gather it. So let me do all that, then I'll show you what it looks like. So here is it. I have whipped it. I whipped them out. If you have whipping machine, you whip it. So I've whipped them out and I've gathered it. So now let's turn it to the front. So here is our pleated turban cap. You can see that the method I showed you is very easy to achieve. Very easy. So here is it. So if you have watched to this point and you have not subscribed, click the subscribe button. I have a headwear group if you are interested. I'll put the link in the description box so you can join. It's 15,000 from January to December. They have started already. There's a lot of time already on the mannequin so that we'll see the final outcome of the style. So here is the finished look of our pleated turban. Please, if you are doing yours, use the exact shade of thread of your fabric, because I do not have the shade, that's why I use this, and because I will still later bead on it, so that's why I didn't bother. But if you don't want to bead on it, you want to leave it plain like this, make sure you use the exact shade of the exact shade of thread of your fabric. Take a look at it, see how full it is. And if you don't want yours to be longer like this, you can reduce the length to 12 inches. You know I use 14 inches for this, so you can use 12, you can use 13, depending on how you want it to be. So here is it. If you have watched to this point, kindly give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and this will be all for today's tutorial. See you guys in my next video. Bye bye. God bless you.